right. Check. All right. It's the Eric and Carson show. I'm Eric. That's Carson. So good joining the show next week.
Brian Bedeau.
Brian Bedeau, yes. He's going to be I'd like to see him come on as much as he can.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
He could, you know what? If Pun could fill that seat.
Oh God, anybody can. Anybody can.
And he's at a doctor's appointment right now, but he's going to start coming in here and just hanging out with us, just so that he can also speak into a microphone at least twice a week, so he can also just kind of keep that fucking thing going. Gain the ability to swear into a microphone. That's
it's always fun. So, how was your Christmas?
It was fine. It was fun. It was. Let's see. I went to my Christmas Day was a bit of a clusterfuck. It was just get in the mode. Let's see. It basically turned out like this. I had to go over to my mother's house at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's good time.
So I got to get my girlfriend and I go over to my mom's house, and we just kind of do the Christmas morning thing there. We then we ate breakfast, then went to Megan's parents' place.
Okay.
And then we hung out there for a while. I had to abandon Megan for a little while so that I could go to my dad's to hang out there for a while.
All right.
Go back to Megan's, then back to the extended family for like a dinner thing.
Jesus Christ.
So that was my.
So you ate good.
I ate a lot on Christmas Day, and so I did that, and then after that it was then like the next day I went down to my other family, my dad's side of the family,
on Friday.
Then we went and hung out with them. So it was just this constant thing. So I'd say I had to answer questions about the direction of my career about 600 times.
Let me tell you something. I've never been so thankful that my family lived in Georgia.
Oh my God!
Because there's no way I could do it right now.
The Detroit family is the one that they're like, are you coming down? Is it gonna happen? And I'm like,
fucking hope so.
God, I hope so. That would certainly be nice. That was kind of interesting. That was what I wound up doing.
Jeez,
I just kept saying, I was like, I hope it's a new, I'm hoping for a really good, operations manager at Clear Channel. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Somebody that
I
really
think
wants
Clear
to.
Channel could take on the Riff personally.
Yes, I think, and I know a PD that could do it.
I know a PD that could do it, and I know a morning show that could kick ass.
Yes.
Or afternoon show, whatever.
Yeah, you want to put us in afternoons.
I think we should be better in afternoons.
Yeah, because
especially down there.
That's a wide open place.
Oh yeah, you could fucking own it.
Well,
now that D&D's doing mornings, you could own afternoons in Detroit.
You could. Well, I mean, obviously you got Arthur Penhallow down there, who, there's rumors that he's not necessarily going to stay, and it's going to be Drew. So then you've obviously got, that guy who obviously is a very talented and has been in radio forever down there.
Yeah, he's got to be ready to retire.
If you put,
I would be.
That's not Arthur Penhallow, yeah, but they're saying that Drew formerly of Drew and Mike.
If Drew Lane takes over that show, that would be competition. It depends on what he does with it.
Of course it would be competition.
It depends on what he does with it.
What do you think? Well, I think
if he does a straight jock show, then
I don't see him doing that. He'd do talk. And so so then you've got an interesting situation going on there. So then what would you do to me personally, if we went up against that, I mean, obviously you wouldn't do what all the other radio stations that have been rock stations that have taken on Riff, they go down there and they just bash them, and they make fun of their air staff. They make fun of Doug Podell, and that's something that I think that would be a mistake.
Work.
I think that if you go down there and you just basically play the underdog role in Detroit,
do your own thing
and own it, and own that you're going to be the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility you can actually come beyond that and win.
Yeah,
because if you go at it with humility and focus on doing a good radio show every day rather than constantly trying to tear down the Riff, you've got a chance against them.
Yeah, and give them, don't trash them. Just play better music than them. And that's the thing is nobody realizes when they go down there. Riff can be beat on music alone.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, we hear it all the time in Flint. Banana has so much better music than Detroit. I mean, you go down to people come up from Detroit to go to the shop and see a show or something, and you talk to them, and they're like, God damn, I wish I could get Banana in Detroit because your music just fucking kicks ass.
Yeah. And
and that alone can beat the fucking Riff.
I think that you've also got a lot of heritage listeners to them. And that's one thing that's obviously that's a huge thing to try to solve, Carson, is that there have been people that for their entire lives, 101.1 has been number one on their presets, and it's very difficult in radio to get people to change their habits.
Well, the big thing is you mentioned is their entire lives. The Riff has grown old with their listeners.
Yes.
I mean, a rock station should be male 1834. dude, I mean, the riff is probably more like a 25, 54, if not older market down there. I mean, there's no way they're getting the 18-year-old kids listening and going, yeah, I remember when Poison was big.
Yeah,
no, you don't. You wasn't born yet.
I actually heard them go from the new Slipknot song, which sucks. The new Slipknot song,
Right.
without a sweeper, into AC/DC "You Shook Me All Night Long," and it just doesn't. You
That
have
don't
to,
work no
You
more.
have to decide what kind of a radio station you're going to be.
You're going to be classic rock, you're going to be rock.
But yeah, and now, and the thing is that you don't do what Extreme Radio did, which is only play new stuff. You do. I mean, just understand that the new classic rock is Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Nirvana.
The 90s.
That's classic rock. That's
Yep.
fucking.
That's the old stuff you mix in.
Yeah, like Led Zeppelin is too old now.
Way too old.
You're talking about stuff that came out in the 70s.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get to a 20 something,
They don't understand analog audio.
they're not even who was that? That was 10 years before they were born.
Yeah, anything that doesn't sound like it was made on Pro Tools is going to completely turn off that audience. And
Yep.
that's just the way they're going to be.
Yeah.
So I think that like if you basically take a riff and like really if you do what we did at Banana, only difference that I would say that you'd make the change is maybe do a music morning show.
Yep.
And maybe have all music in the morning to compete with what Mike and Mike are doing. And then maybe you might be able to get people to sample an afternoon show like ours that would actually
Hybrid.
That is a hybrid thing, and then just go with it, go from it on that, that thing.
And I don't know about all music in the morning, but I think a nice hybrid would work in the morning too.
The hybrid would work good, but if the question is like, do you want to do a really cost-effective radio station? Then that's the way you do it.
Right.
And you do a cost-effective radio station that would probably have a chance of competing down there with the riff if you put us on in either afternoons or mornings and then do something with it.
In my mind, I think you put us on afternoons, and then you get a guy that's funny by himself.
Yeah.
That can put in the funny stuff without having to take 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
And do that in the morning.
Yeah.
Where you're getting the music because you're not getting music anywhere else, but you still got a guy, giving you quick hits and making you laugh and then getting back to your music. And I think that would work in the morning. You do us in afternoons, which, we do, 4 to 6 songs an hour and do a good damn show. That way, you got the best of both worlds. You can have your music and some funny in the morning, and then you got a great ride home with not a lot of competition.
Yeah, and I think that would probably be an interesting thing to do.
And then you get a young crazy night guy that is over the top and tries a bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah, just do all that kind of that kind of stuff, and you could definitely have a lot of. You could probably win in Detroit, and I would like to, and that would be obviously a really good thing to be involved in. I'd like to see that happen. Of course, then again, it doesn't. We don't have to just work at rock stations. We can do sports. We can do talk. We can do whatever. And that's.
I think that'd be my biggest dream is to do an afternoon talk show somewhere.
Yeah.
I would love to get signed to do that somewhere.
That would obviously be right in our strike zone. That's what we do, and it's obvious that market down there that we actually have some name recognition in actually has some possibilities. So let's get on it, and I would be all about it. And it's it's weird because I really do enjoy doing this podcast and whatnot, but it was kind of funny. We were standing outside, and the truth is just the idea of being on radio is the reason why we do radio.
Yeah. The podcast fills a need. It gives us something to do in the downtime, and I'm thankful for it. But at the same time, it's not like going to a building and a lot of being on radio is before you ever get on the air.
Yeah.
It's helping with promotions. It's helping writing liners. It's helping, when we're going to do the big contest, what the name of it's going to be, how we're going to qualify people. It's helping write sweepers, and all that stuff.
Getting around the FCC.
Getting around the FCC. Doing, normally we did 2 hours of show prep and even that is a lot of fun because you're going through trying to figure out what's going to be good, how to make it good, and stuff like that, and then you actually get on the air and see if all the work you've done for the 4 or 5 hours, whatever, 2, 3 hours, whatever, leading up to your show, worked that day.
Yeah, and I love the planning.
Yeah,
I also because a lot of the times I'd be looking at. I'd be going and talking to the PD or whatever, go talk to the sales manager and see like what's going on the horizon, and then then you kind of go back to all the guys that are working on the show prep and go, okay, we have this, and this.
Yeah.
Let's talk after at some point today about like what we want to do for the future and those kind of things. Those things are the things I miss, just those little things like that. And
free lunch was always nice.
Free lunch. Yeah.
I used to love coming into the station and seeing pizzas in the break room. Like, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking A, pizza.
And like how promotions is that extra social life that you need.
Exactly.
It's like I'm bored. I'm gonna go work at promotions for a while.
God, man, it just and just another thing you miss too is like if you're sitting at home on like a Sunday afternoon and the old lady's gone shopping or something, you're there by yourself. The Lions are losing like always. You're like, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna go up to the station and work on some imaging.
Yeah.
You know, just put shit together for the show that you know, work on drops, work on imaging. It's just something to fill your time.
Are you kidding me? The next show we get, I'm gonna be so excited about. Just I'll spend the first week doing nothing but imaging it.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be great.
Sitting in a studio, just coming up with different stuff.
I'll be like, Eric, we need to get another 360. I've got enough drops to fill this already.
Yeah.
We've been here 4 hours.
Get an instant replay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those kind of things would be a lot of fun. And boy, are we hoping that it happens in 2009.
Oh man, I just want to work so bad.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is how it goes. You got to sit around and got to wait for a little while.
So
Everybody goes through.
My Christmas, talk about it a little bit. We didn't have money to do gifts this year or anything. So we bought a ham and bought some stuff and made a nice little Christmas dinner. J-Rock came over and ate with us and watched some movies and shit. So later on that evening, probably about 8 o'clock, I'm in the kitchen cleaning, you know, dishes, and Lisa's picking up the house and everything. And we hear a knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was like my neighbor wanting to borrow a cup of sugar or something like that. And dogs are barking. I'm like, fuck, my hands are wet. And Lisa's like, get the door.
People actually borrow a cup of sugar in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Neighbor eggs,
that's what we
sugar.
call it.
No, that motherfucker's always borrowing something. $1. Fuck. We borrow $1. Okay.
Yeah. I got a spoon and a lighter. Can you help me out, please?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got any needles? For what? I got to give my dog an injection. You don't have any dogs.
Yeah, that's what I call my leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, it takes me a minute. And I get to the door and open the door, and there's a bag there with presents in it.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. Nobody else. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I call Lisa over here. I'm like, hey, Lisa,
Santa.
come over here. And, you know, she's like, we couldn't figure it out. So we brought it in, and sure enough, it was all marked to us. And it ended up being my neighbor to my left, my other neighbor, Bill. And he just, I guess they felt bad for us for not having presents. So he got us like this little candy cane of Hershey Kisses and like a snow globe and like this flowery, smelly vase thing. I don't fucking know. But the best thing he got us was this kid's toy. And it's the stupidest thing ever, but we played with it for like a half hour and had a blast. It's a little toy gun, and it's a little, I don't know, little bar thing, whatever, like little stand. And you take these plastic soup cans and you put on top of them, and you shoot at it, and if you hit it, it'll push this little thing up, and the little can goes flying.
Oh, wow.
And it's all like laser tag style with the lasers or whatever.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so we sat around and played with that thing. We were like halfway across the house, seeing how far away we could get to shoot it, you know. So that was like the biggest thing for my Christmas. Like, it made my Christmas to be able to unwrap a present and actually have a toy to play with.
What a merry whatever. Nice job.
It was hilarious, man. It was like standing across the room. I'm gonna get it. I'm like doing like Splinter Cell style, looking over, like getting in the staircase, peeking around the corner, trying to shoot the cans.
Grab cover.
Exactly. It was hilarious, man.
That's fun. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta do some stuff when I get out of here.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna leave. I
got to talk about sledding next time we're here.
Okay, sledding it is. And Brian will be here next time.
I'm 30 years old, and for the first time in my life, I went sledding.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's inherently dangerous activity, isn't it?
God, yes.
Yes, you really
I am
do.
still a little stiff today.
Yeah, I imagine. That's some scary
And that
shit.
was Friday.
You're basically going completely out of control.
Oh God,
It
it really is insane. There
But-
was a jump involved.
And you don't have any snow. You don't have any snow clothes, so you must have been soaked.
No, I did. I got my snowboarding clothes out
Oh.
and went in
Okay,
that.
fair
so,
enough.
yeah, but I'll tell you all about it. It was definitely an experience.
Oh, real
next
quick,
time.
movie everybody needs to see, Slumdog Millionaire. It rules.
What is that?
It's this movie that's it's kind of an independent film, and it's gonna win Best Picture. It's so good.
Is it in theaters or on DVD?
In theaters right now.
You here Thursday, by the way?
Huh?
You
No.
here Thursday?
No, not
No,
for
we'll
not,
be-
not
we'll
for
be
New Year's.
recovering.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of chill because it's gonna be New Year's.
Speaking of New Year's, you can join Eric at Jester's New
I'll be
Year's
there.
Eve party.
I'll be there, Jesters. $10 to get in. Free champagne toast at midnight and buffet after 2. So,
I would get your tickets now because they sold a crap load Saturday night.
So yeah, make sure you get your tickets. We're gonna leave and we'll be back for 2009 when we'll be much happier.
Peace.